SpaceX, baby.
I need Dogecoin to go. Keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, says live. Yep, we are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, that
Department of Government. Yeah.
yeah.
Department of Government Efficiency.
Efficiency. Yeah.
Yeah. I still have in my Robinhood. I have Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, and Tesla.
Yeah.
Those are 3 things I hold. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been.
Yeah. Good.
It's going great. I've been hodling Doge for 7 years. So I used like one of my first paychecks as a lieutenant and bought as many coins as I could.
Holy shit!
Yeah. So I have too many. I have too much.
Too much
Uh,
money?
no. I
Are
mean,
you
it's
getting a
gone.
boat?
It's crazy. Um,
Hell yeah!
but it's like some crazy amount of coins, right? And I was watching it and it hit like 0.42 cents. I think I bought it at like 0.004. So if it hits $1, I'm gone. You're never gonna see me again.
Dude, it almost got to $1.
I know. Didn't sell one bit. I haven't touched it at all for
You have
7 years.
enormous balls.
It's at 0.38, something like that today. 0.37. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As soon as the election happened, man, boom.
Yeah.
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 Tesla, Doge, and all Shiba, they're all following the same
Yeah.
chart
And
pattern.
the 0.001 coin of Bitcoin that I have has actually made me money too.
Yeah. Bitcoin's at like
Yeah.
100 grand.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's nuts.
I got nothing to lose. Send it. I got nothing to lose. Just no, it's not. It's not rich.
The only thing he's rich in is getting vaccinated.
Hey.
They should put that as benefits. Like if you join the military, you get all the vaccines you want free. For free, dude. You don't have
The
to go to
worst ones are
Walgreens.
the worst ones is when you got to get like they used to. I think the Marines were the only ones that got the anthrax shot back in the day when the whole anthrax thing happened. But when you go to like Korea or some overseas locations, you have to get smallpox, and it's like all these little jabs all over you, and it's the nastiest looking scar for a while. It's pretty intense. Not to Korea. I went to Europe, but we didn't have to get it at the time.
We have a member that works for one of the counties, and so she did all like the election stuff. She had to like kind of run it, and when they get all the mail-in ballots, there's like this process to open each one in case of anthrax. There are
Yeah.
special gloves, like a face covering. You have to cut it, you have to tip it a certain way, and then you have to pass it to this person a certain way. All because of anthrax.
Yeah. So white powder
Powder,
is,
and then you freak out.
yeah. And you run away. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't snort it. It doesn't grow in a tree.
I have no idea.
I guess it probably does. Yeah. It fucked up some people in the government.
Mm.
I mean, you can basically, I think in summation, just like you can, like bad things happen to good people, right? And you can forever be burdened by that. And like some people just get so stuck to that trauma that like that becomes their identity. But like at some point, like you got to break free of that stuff, and it's a process. Or being divorced. Oh, like, how you doing? Oh, I'm divorced. It's like,
Mm.
yeah, great, good to see you, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you got me on that one. I'm not sure.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like the worst. I heard this quote. It was the worst thing that's ever happened to you. It's the worst thing that's ever happened to you. So based off of that, like some people think that once one thing happens, that is the worst thing in the world because they've never dealt with anything harder. And all these people, like if you read the story of like Francis Ngannou, the MMA fighter, like he was on a podcast and he was saying, "Hey, like I got sent back to these sand mines in Africa multiple times. We're trying to escape Africa." Like multiple times, and he could have given up every single time, but he decided
it's
he wanted to
crazy.
get to America. You know, he decided he wanted to get. I think he went to France or something like that. But he like obviously he's had a huge hard bring up, come up, and now he's a UFC champion. You know, these guys have gone through the most. Like any superstar, that really goes through more than most people because they
Yeah,
keep pushing through it. I don't know. I think it's a mentality thing too. Like, yeah, people like to identify with it, but it's like yeah, you can grieve about it, but what are you going to do about it? Because is that going to make it's going to change you throughout the years? It's going to be negative. Everything's negative then around you, like your aura, how you talk to people. Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
it's just one of those things. Like you're the
Yeah.
only one that's gonna dig yourself out of it. Like, yeah, we need friends, we need people, and there's times even like with coaches when they're having a hard time and they're like, I'm just not feeling it today. I'm like, you you sometimes lose sight of how much you get from coaching from like people contact. Like it's a positive feedback with both ways.
Hmm. Yeah, like if I
It,
see my boss, yeah, if I see my boss at work, just like I see my boss like maybe once a month in person, right? But if that once a month, like I see him and he's in a crappy mood, like that's the feeling I get of the organization because he's the leader. I'm like, oh, we're in a bad state right now. Like if he's in a bad mood, then like what are we doing wrong or what's going on? Like you have no idea some of the burdens these people carry on them in certain positions. You know, it's pretty crazy how it affects everybody else. You know, indirectly without even him knowing it if he was in a bad mood that day. You know.
and that's like the you go first. So like that's really big with like management and ownership of a business. Like you need to be mindful of exactly that and how much your touch points really do make a difference. And so like
Mhm.
you got to realize that like it or not, you always got to be on. Like even if it's like putting it up as an act, like because maybe I don't see members as much, but if their only time they see me is like I'm racing to the gym because the coach no showed and like this, I'm all frazzled, and then I'm shitty and sour and like wow, Joe is not who he used to. Like take a deep
Mhm.
breath, like all right, I'm going to step in. I don't get to coach as much as I used to, and I'm going to give these members the absolute best class possible so that they like when the other coach is back, they're like, dude, like you got to step your game up. Joe barely coaches and came in and like was on point. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's fake it till you make it. Yeah, Travis says you.
Hmm.
All right, well you can hear me. Yeah, on your point, I'll talk while I can be heard. Um, I think
Hello.
it
Can you hear me
off
now?
often like people think they did something without actually doing anything. Like you watch all these David Goggins videos and you get all hyped up, and it's like, okay, if you don't channel that energy into something, like it still goes
Thanks,
nowhere.
Travis. Well, yeah, I mean, that's like kind of what the whole point that I'm making is like sometimes I feel like these people they're like in a lull and then they're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, these reels or these like, memes or whatever make them feel good for like 3 seconds and it gives them this like little motivation, but it's almost like a dopamine hit like a cigarette, right? Like it just gives you that clarity for a second and then they don't do anything about it. Now, that's not to say that I don't think it's ever useful or productive to like look at those things or that it doesn't ever do anything. But I think a lot of people who are like in lulls just kind of use those to like almost put off the idea to other people or project that this is the type of person they are without ever actually showing action.
Yeah, but they get to choose on social media. They get to choose when they post it, right? And they get to choose if it's right away, or maybe they had a video saved a year ago or a month ago. You know, when you're talking to somebody in person, it's in the moment, and that's what's different about like me going to see my boss versus if my boss were to post a video. I don't know if he posted that of him today or if it was him a week or two ago or whatever it was.
Right.
Like way more fake on social media because you can fake that way easier.
Yeah, for sure.
Way off topic.
Yeah.
Have either of you guys tried Zen?
No. Well, yeah, I have. Years ago.
Yes. All right.
Logan, dude.
I see more and more people taking it, and it's not like people that I'm like, oh, like, yeah, they would do that. It's more people that I'm like, that person's pretty similar to me. I'm assuming they got their head on straight. Now I want to know why they do it, because it's starting to make me think I should try.
Well, nicotine is dope, dude. Nicotine's like a super nice nootropic, bro.
Yeah,
like,
so
you want to get dialed in, you take a little hit of nicotine. But I personally, like, I did okay, so they used to have like
Adderall Light.
I would say actually Adderall harder if you're sensitive to nicotine. If you're sensitive. But like Adderall is more of like a sustained thing. Like nicotine isn't really, in my experience.
Logan?
Yeah, I'm like super. I've never done any drugs. Other like if you want to go into that rabbit hole of like caffeine or whatever. I've never done any kind of like Adderall, marijuana, THC, nothing.
Allegedly.
No, literally never.
Okay,
I'll tell you straight up.
Yeah, okay. I have never done drugs either, bro.
Yeah, you definitely done drugs. No, nothing. Mushrooms, nothing. So when I even had my first like cigar, I was like, what the freak? Like, it was really weird. But it wasn't as intense. Like, oh my God.
It's not even what you said, it's how you said it.
Yeah, you've definitely done drugs.
Like, yeah, duh.
Yeah, I have done drugs. Not any hard ones though.
Okay. But yeah, the Zen hits way different than like a cigar or whatever, because it's like I think the first time I tried it, I was at a concert, and it was like a 3 milligram one, which is usually the lowest, right?
Yeah.
And one of the guys was like, "Yo, just try it, trust me." And as soon as I took it, like within like a minute, my heart started racing. I started sweating. It was like 3 milligrams, but the music and the bass, like everything was like so like
better.
It was wild. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
there's some dudes that throw like 6 of them in.
I know,
throw like
it's
6
disgusting.
milligrams. No, I can't do that. I'll do like maybe 1 or 2 a day here and there, like a couple of days off and on, because I don't want to. Like, you obviously build up a tolerance over time with anything else.
Yep.
Like, try not to drink a lot of caffeine, but when I do, it's like it hits. You know.
Yeah. Travis said Zen makes me so loopy, and I have kind of a story about this. So I used to do Zen packs back like when I was drinking. So like probably 5 years ago, I would do Zen sometimes. Actually, I shouldn't say that. There was like a weekend where I binged Zen basically, but I used to smoke cigars like crazy, right? And so, I took them and I was like, oh dude, this is really cool. This is dope. It almost brings you out of your drunk kind of, right? And so anyway, the next weekend or a couple weekends after I tried it, I decided that I was going to go get 6 milligram pouches instead of the 3s, because 3s is what I was trying. Bro, I was driving. I put the 6 milligram pack in and I had to pull over. I had to pull off the road. I felt like I was driving drunk. And I was bent over in my car, head against the wheel, like ready to throw up. I couldn't believe how much of a difference 3 milligrams was, like 3 to 6.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
First time I chewed, I was working at Menards in the lumberyard on a forklift.
Nice.
And like, so guys, a bunch of dudes were dipping. I'm like, all right, let me try it. I have that thing in for 3 minutes. I fell out of the fork truck.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, dude, I am 13 beers deep. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah. My dad's been gutting skull long cut since he was like 15.
Yikes.
Gosh.
Yeah. I don't know how that
Does
man
he have a throat?
Wait, he guts it?
Guts it.
No way.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I'm sure we all have those stories about accidentally drinking someone's spit.
No, dude, no.
Nah, it's just you.
Yeah, we don't need to
Dude,
go there.
ugh, disgusting.
My son, speaking of that type of stuff, he threw up spaghetti all over the freaking toilet and bathroom floor last night.
Nice.
His mom fed him like 3 full plates full, dude. It was like full on like noodles. He didn't even chew them, bro. He just like put it in his mouth and swallowed it. Like, damn, this boy is getting too big. Travis
But
said I put
some
one
dudes
in and
use
drove to the gym and was like, what the F is happening to me? Yeah.
some dudes use the Zen and they use it for like during their workouts.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I got
Like
kids that do that.
Matt Johnson, he just ran across Texas, and he had just Zen tins with him the whole entire time, like
Is
upper
that
deck.
the skinny dude?
Yeah,
Yeah. He probably needed Zins the whole time, dude.
yeah.
Think about that. That was crazy.
But I don't know. I don't know if I would agree with like regular CrossFit throwing one in. Like I guess like it helps with getting your heart rate up, pushing blood, but I mean nothing that beetroot powder can't do. You know, so.
Well, I think no matter what the thing is, whether it's like Zen or if it's caffeine or whatever, people are going to find a way to abuse it somehow. You know?
Oh yeah, it's in our nature to do that for sure.
Yeah, that's definitely my fear because I have that very addictive personality.
Yeah. I don't think like Zen doesn't give you superpowers. Like nicotine doesn't give you superpowers, but it's definitely like it'll dial you into whatever you're doing for a while. It feels like superpowers. It feels like
I get so many things done on my computer right away. It's
Do you?
crazy.
My
Oh
buddy
my
was
God,
just
yeah.
asking
How
me
long
about,
does it
like,
last for?
like an hour.
Oh,
I don't know. It depends on like how many. Like Logan probably is putting back packs like all day, right?
no.
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 What are you doing?
For the Zen?
Yeah.
Like 1 or 2 here, a couple other couple days or so.
Oh, how long do you use it?
I know people that do like every 30 minutes or so. I'd probably have it
Yeah.
in for like an hour and a half or so.
And it lasts you that long?
I think it does. I try to make it feel like it does because I just don't want to.
Well,
Get
let's
into
not
that
break your
like-
belief. Let's not break
Yeah.
your belief here.
If I believe it, it'll happen.
What
my-
flavor?
It depends on what I'm doing. If it's in the morning, it's coffee, but usually a cool mint.
They have coffee flavor?
I didn't know they had
Bro,
different
I'm
flavors
getting
besides like
I'm on it.
methanol or not methanol.
I'm going-
Menthol.
Yeah, start with the 3. Don't do yourself a disservice and puke. Start with the 3.
Yeah, just if you're gonna.
We should do one and we all put one in the beginning and we'll just talk about it.
I can't do it anymore, dude. I can't handle nicotine anymore.
What do you mean?
But for the live, maybe I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. My buddy was asking me about stuff like the other day. He's like, I'm going to the doctor to go get ADHD medication because I feel like I can't focus at work. He's like, work is paying really good right now, but I know that the only thing that's going to get in the way of me making more money is me. So I'm going to try to go get ADHD medication. I was like, why are you doing that? There's so many other options that you could be like taking aside from getting freaking meth in your system, right? And he's like, well, what? And I'm like, I didn't even think about Zen, but he already vapes and does nicotine that way. But I told him you could like dose L-tyrosine, you could get ketones, you could get alpha GPC, like all these different nootropic things. Joe, if you want something nice, I would take either alpha GPC, phosphatidylcholine, or L-tyrosine if you need to like really dial in.
Okay.
Yeah, that stuff is good.
Have you tried? How have the ketones been?
Yeah, how have they been?
Yeah, I think I like them. I had a week where I ran out. I wanted to feel it out.
Mhm.
I felt like I had less energy that week. It's still, like any supplement, it is really hard to know for certain, or you just get accustomed to the way you feel to really have good reference points of like, I was a 7, now I'm a 9.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I ran
But I
out.
bought more.
You did?
So, yeah.
Did you do Ketone IQ again?
Yeah. I did the one that is green apple flavored, so it doesn't taste like butthole.
And it has caffeine, right?
And it has caffeine.
So it doesn't taste like
Oh.
butthole. I bet you it's just gonna taste like green apple butthole, dude.
That's my kind
Yeah,
of
it's
butthole.
pretty bad. It's
Yeah,
pretty
let me
bad.
know how that tastes because I might switch up mine too. I ran out for a week and I started trying this other one that's at Lifetime called Kinetic, and that one's pretty good. It has 12 grams of ketones, but I definitely like
the same price.
Dude, they're so expensive, bro. It was like for a 6-pack of them, It's like
Yeah.
$50
There's
for a
a
ketone drink.
member at the gym that has one that comes in sticks. I think it's called like Upshift or something like that.
Mm.
And he gave me a couple packs to try it. It's hard to tell the difference,
Yeah.
but I think those are a bit cheaper.
Yeah, I think that, dude, we're at the cusp of like just learning about like ketone supplementation and even just like like optimization for supplementing. Joe, you're
Oh,
out.
got him.
Got him back. Wait, yeah, there we go.
It's the Russians.
It might be. Honestly, what I think it is that we're exposing government secrets because Logan is part of the military and they don't want us to actually like give out the secrets from China and stuff, you know?
Well, yeah, and they saw our voting record.
All right, let's talk about CrossFit and how they're messing up, dude. What you guys educate me. I have not, dude. I have not been paying attention to CrossFit whatsoever. We just bought a new house. I need to make hella more money right now. So
Wait, you did?
Yeah, we're so there's a new development going up kind of by our house, and so we found a house that's being built right now. So yesterday we had a 3.5 hour meeting that we had to go pick out all this stuff, and I thought it was going to be super gay and not cool, and it was really cool. Or I'm gay.
Like picking colors and layouts and
yeah,
materials?
like cabinets, colors, materials, what stone for the fireplace, like everything. And we have so now we have our other meeting. We got to go in really quick. So tomorrow, today's Thursday, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was like, hey, I can meet with you guys on Friday again. I'm like, yeah, dope. Let's do that. And so now we have to pay for our upgrades and like, I have to make a lot of money really fast to pay for all this shit up front.
And like, that's kind
Cash
of
out
why
Dogecoin.
I don't have any freaking Dogecoin, dude. Otherwise I would.
Well, Logan's got $1 billion, so
Logan, share with me, please.
yeah, man, that's how it works, man.
Right.
I ain't touching it.
Spread the wealth. I mean, that was kind of like for me with the house. I get started like a couple things, and now it's literally from the studs up a new house.
Dope.
And it kind of was like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. I'd rather dig myself a hole and give me some motivation to like crawl out of it like as fast as possible than like incrementally spending 15 grand here, then 18 grand here, then 20 grand here. It's like, do it all, move out, get it fixed, enjoy the shit out of it, have something that feels like I've earned it.
Yep.
And then go make bank or do a bunch of PTs or whatever I gotta do to help get money back in my pocket.
Yeah, dude. I mean, this is part of the reason why like I wanted to talk about the victim mindset thing kind of that we were talking about before. Logan, your square is black again. Are you mad at Greg?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
All right. But this is part of the reason why like I wanted to talk about that victim mindset shit before because like, dude, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, damn, I gotta make a lot of money within the next like 4 months. And dude, everything went through my mind. I'm like, you know, a lot of people could sit here and be like, I'm not going to do this for money. I'm not going to do that. And why is this happening? Blah, blah. Dude, I literally thought about going and just doing Uber Eats a couple nights out of the week because I don't give a shit, bro. Like, this is for my kids. This is for my family. Like, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I literally do not give a shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but a lot of people like care too much. You know what I mean? They care too much about like a facade or whatever, or they just won't do it because like they want to play the victim and like, oh, I can't, whatever. And like, to me, it's just like, just whatever it takes, literally whatever it takes to get the things that you want, you know? So
I even think that there was a time where I had some victim stuff going on with owning a gym, like where it's like, dude, I do this good thing and, you know, I do it at the, like, yeah, I don't make money from it, but like, that's the choice I've made. And like, I can't have nice things. And it's like, no, I can have both. Like, let's make this happen. Let's earn the things that I think I don't deserve and enjoy it.
Bro, there's seasons too, right? Like there's going to be seasons of like, you need to hustle and do whatever it takes in order to make things happen, you know? And then there's going to be seasons where like you can just sit pretty or whatever. Like, especially when you're on the entrepreneur journey, it's like there's never going to, like, you should be freaking out a little bit all the time.
Yeah, 100%.
Otherwise, there's no motivation to do anything. It's like, you know, that's part of the reason why I think that people who have normal jobs don't care. you know, because they don't freak out. They just have this sense of, and although it may not be real, but they have this sense of security all the time. So it's like, I don't have to do anything else. I always have this consistent paycheck. Why does it matter? You know what I mean? Whereas like somebody like you or me, we depend on ourselves for a paycheck. We don't have anybody just handing us a check every day with a checklist that we have to do day to day. We have to like figure it out every single day. How am I going to make another $1,000? How am I going to make another $5,000? You know, whatever it is. Yeah. But what's CrossFit? What's up with CrossFit? What's happening?
Talking like Finn, they do best.
Huh?
Yeah.
They were there when they thought Tia was going to retire, so they kind of popped that off early, and obviously she didn't and kept winning. That was right
they're
after
the ones that did that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean Woodland said it at the games.
Nice.
Yeah, at the games. Yeah, right after she won. And they even asked her about it on the floor, too, expecting her to talk about it. It was really weird. And then today, they had I guess it was today or yesterday, they started their started their video a little earlier, I guess, than they thought. And they talked about Katrin retiring. But, like, who didn't know she was already kind of retiring? It's been a while.
This happened today?
Didn't she get new boobs?
You would know, but I don't know.
I wouldn't know. Because I'm a pervert or in the CrossFit space?
Hey, we're happily in relationships, Joe. We don't look at other girls' boobs.
I'm not in a relationship.
No, me and Logan.
Oh, what's going on right now?
Dude, no.
Yeah,
no, you're a bastard.
I mean,
Yeah.
she won the games twice, right?
Yeah.
She's podiumed a handful of times, but it's been a while.
Yeah.
So, and ever since she left, what's his face? Bergeron. It's kind of been this weird HWPO / whatever else thing she's been doing. So, I don't know. It's I think people mostly saw this one coming, especially with like Brent retiring. More people are going to start retiring soon. Yeah, I mean, it's just funny that they don't catch things like that. It's kind of weird at that level if they're trying to be like the top tier,
you think
podcast.
They do it on purpose?
I don't think the
Like
space is big enough for them to do it on purpose and like get something out of it. I don't know. I think that I think people still think that CrossFit's this huge entity. Like if who's been in like the NFL for a long time, like if Rodgers was going to retire, right? Super Bowl champion, playoff record. He's the quarterback for the Jets right now.
I don't
like that's a big deal if someone. Right? Yeah, that's a big deal if someone's like, hey, I'm gonna leak this out, right? For this, guy who's a champion, a great quarterback, right? Even though he was on a decline, the end of his career, it's still big news. But that's the NFL. I think people think of it like that, but it's not. So it's like not really as big as a deal people thought. I personally think, but I don't think they did it on purpose because I don't think they would. I just don't think they did it on purpose. I think they just messed up.
Yeah.
But obviously, because they deleted it, if they did it on purpose, they would have kept it out there.
But who like?
Did you see Luca's post?
Luca?
No.
Lukic?
No.
It was just a follow up with what CrossFit talked about yesterday with their findings with the investigation of Lazar's death.
Yeah.
But Luca made a post basically like everyone should think twice about how they spend their money in supporting a business or a company that doesn't like care about people. And he was talking about CrossFit. So I'm assuming Luca is not competing in CrossFit events ongoing. So I'm curious how many more athletes, whether Brent retiring was part of that too, but like it'll be interesting to see how that really takes shape.
Well, they said that they're not giving out any findings, right? They said they finished the investigation. They're not going to post. The only reason I could think of why you wouldn't post the findings is to keep people's names redacted that people would go after. That's like the only thing I could personally really think of is like that you would want to hold close. It's like, okay, we know who did it. They're going to take care of it internally, hopefully, but they don't want people's names getting out there.
Yeah.
Like it was so-and-so's negligence that this happened. And
like the budgetary stuff for having X, Y, and Z on site, Don was like, we cannot afford to do this. And that just falls in the bucket of extraneous. And we'll be all right with just what we've usually had at minimum or whatever. and then that just goes down the chain, and then there's a name to it, and everyone wants Don's head, whatever.
Yeah, I don't agree with it. I think if you look at somebody that runs a good organization that's pretty transparent, like a Dana White, he puts everything out there.
Yep.
Everything. Like answers all the questions at those press conferences right how you would expect him to answer them.
Even if it's personal stuff about hitting his wife.
Even if it's personal stuff, right? And look how successful they've been, right?
Yeah.
Working with their athletes, promoting their brand. I think, again, we think it's this like top entity, top sport where we can hold that information and make sure everybody's still okay with it when they're not. They're still in infancy. So it's
I wonder though how much of that is like the UFC is like $1 billion corporation though, you know, like a few
it is
billion.
Now.
Yeah, but like CrossFit is like holding on for dear life. You know what I mean? So
because they won't get the people, like they moved ahead of the people before the sport was ready for it. Like they moved ahead into the sport without like keeping that whatever they're trying to keep. Like UFC just kept it the whole time, was out in front of everybody, was telling everybody everything that's going on, the testing with certain athletes, the personal lives, the bonuses, the payments, why they pay certain people certain ways. Like
yeah,
I don't know.
Right.
It's weird.
How do you think, what do you think happens with CrossFit because of this stuff? Like,
well,
do you agree with Luca's position?
Savon hinted at both Laura and Jeff potentially not competing in the game season either. Like they're just going to do like Rogue and Wadapalooza and Dubai or whatever that they can make. They can still make $300 and some $1,000 a year. Like that's more than enough living.
I kind of figured that would happen anyway with Laura and Adler.
It's eventually a sport, but girl was like, there should be other comps and people should make decisions. If I'm not Tia or I guess even Jeff, like I would peak for Rogue because that's a far better chance that you're going to be competing against your peers who aren't peaked because they just had the games a couple months later, that you have a far better chance of locking down a big chunk of money.
They pay more,
this
don't
sport, they
pay down the ladder. Like, don't they pay everybody more than CrossFit does?
They pay everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Oh, CrossFit does not pay everybody?
Bottom 20, I don't think get paid.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I mean.
So at that point, you paid to compete. You lost money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you got to look at like, if a John Jones, right, one of the best UFC fighters, like if he's like, I don't want to be part of this sport, I want to move on, I'm sure Dana would stop everything. Like, why is my elite athlete, a Conor McGregor, a Khabib, like, why don't they want to be part of my sport anymore and cultivate it around them because they're going to push the brand the most.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
If I think Matt Fraser said back when they had the whole Greg Glassman thing, right? He said the biggest way to protest is say you're going and then don't show up because they need the athletes. But I think what CrossFit's doing is they're going to say, we're going to find the fittest anyway because we're going to find who wanted to show up. I don't think that's the right answer because they're like, okay, who did all the events? We know that, Sprague isn't fitter than
Adler.
But he was the fittest in
Roman.
CrossFit's eye because he's the one that showed up and stayed in the competition, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I think they need to branch off. The sport needs to branch away from the community. As much as they keep saying community, it's not anymore because that's the way they've pushed it. And they need to go. Yeah. They need to have this like interaction with the PFA or whatever they call themselves more because it hasn't done anything in regards to taking care of all the athletes. Not all of them. Like all the NFLPA, all those players, like they have a holdout if they're not getting paid enough, right? Mm-hmm. Like NBA, PA, same thing. Like
or have a lockout.
There's a couple people in the for the PFA that say things, and then the rest of the athletes aren't on the same page because they're like, I didn't say this, I didn't agree to this. Mm-hmm. Like,
do you see Abigail Domet commented on the PFA's post like, "Hey, when was this vote? I didn't get an email because the PFA
said that
all the Abigail Domet." She's competed at the games thing too.
Oh yeah, she's an athlete. I know her.
Yeah, so the PFAA was making posts about who they the new board, so the 6 new people they brought on that they voted for, and they said that the vote was like all games athletes and all those people would be part of the voting pool. And Abigail Domet commented like, "When was this vote? I never got an email. Like, I don't know who actually voted for this.
Logan, you're gone.
Government got him.
Dude, again. It's China.
Oh,
China got
that's
him.
work.
China.
I gotta go.
You gotta
All
go.
right.
All right, buddy. Peace out.
See you, dude.
Thanks for being here.
Oh, I got balloons. Nice.
Woo!
I'll see you
All
guys.
right, dude. See ya.
See you, dude.
I'm gonna move you.
I got about 20-ish, 25 minutes.
Okay, cool. I gotcha.
My lovely mother is going to open up the gym early.
Heck yeah, dude. That's cool. I've
Dude, she
I saw those
lifted
videos
200
on
pounds
there.
the other day.
I know, that's crazy. That's really good.
Yeah, I love it.
That's dope, dude.
Yeah.
Well, so what do you think? What do you think happens with the whole CrossFit thing? Do you think that CrossFit just kind of goes under? Like, Heather and I were talking about it the other day, and she goes, because she still like keeps up a little bit, and she's like, if CrossFit keeps doing all this stuff, like they definitely can't ever have a swim event again. And my like initial reaction to that was like, yeah, they can, for sure they can. She's like, well, why? And I was like, they just can. Like, if they do it, you know what's going to happen. And she's like, what? I'm like, as long as all the people keep going back to CrossFit, back to the CrossFit Games and like competing in their season, if CrossFit hosts a swim event, they're all just going to do it. That's why they can do it, because none of them
guessing
are
they'll
like,
do a pool next year
Yeah.
and then work their way back to it and then just have more safeguards in place. I think CrossFit is just going to continue to limp along the way it is. They might slowly lose affiliates because some like seminar participation certificates are way down, and the less L1s you have, it negates the opportunity to open businesses. Right
Yeah.
now, you have to have level 2 even. So just that less people are getting certifications, and it's just going to be a trickle down and a slowdown. And I don't really see them bouncing back. I think Metfix had 3,000 applicants.
Yeah.
And they took the first 100, and they're going to like just work their way up through it. I mean, we didn't get accepted, which again is all good.
So
I just think CrossFit is going to limp
start
along.
a sport though?
No, because I don't believe so. Because Greg's not interested in that, and even like when Greg was owning, he was trying to sell the sport. He was really just trying to package up the games as its own thing, sell it, and then CrossFit just really focuses on health.
So do you think that like CrossFit eventually, I guess the brand of competition, do you think that eventually just dies out and then like somebody else starts a league that actually makes sense? Like Rogue maybe starts a whole season?
No, I don't think that'll happen until if CrossFit no longer has Dave Castro, Nicole Carroll, Chuck Carswell, Adrian Bosman, if those people are no longer part of it, then I do think that happens, but I think it'll continue to exist as long as those people are actively involved. And I don't think Rogue would take food off CrossFit's plate because they have such a harmonious relationship with those 4 people.
Yep.
If those 4 people are gone, the relationship isn't there, and I don't think Rogue's going to give a shit. And yeah, Rogue could easily step up and become a bigger player. I mean, they right now drive more money to the ecosystem than the games do for the athletes, right?
Yeah,
they have all
for
those
sure.
challenges throughout the year. They have Rogue athletes that they give money to and sponsor and equipment. They have their event that pays just as much, if not more. So I think CrossFit is just going to continue to limp along. I don't think it's going to be anything like, it's just going to take time. I don't think it'll ever go under unless those people aren't a part of it, because those, for me, that is what I hold on to. They still got Dave, so I trust that they're still going to look out for me to an extent.
I just wonder if the players, like the athletes, will like the ones who actually have a problem or that act like they have a problem with CrossFit at large. Like, I wonder if they ever actually grow balls, and like don't compete. You don't think so?
I don't see that. The closest thing to it is going to be Brent, but Brent already had his full career, and then he made his statements about Dave, and CrossFit was pretty straightforward. And they even said yesterday in the post, like, Dave Castro is leading sport. Like, there's no changes with him. So I'm guessing there's a big part of Brent that's like, I don't want to go through this year. I'm gonna have to rub shoulders with Dave at some point. My goal is to go back to the games. Like, I think he's kind of like, I'm just gonna switch gears because this isn't gonna be fun.
Do you think that he actually quit because like he wanted Dave's job and he can't have it?
N- n-
Or is that just kind of a meme?
Yeah, I don't think it can't be a thing because that would be so silly.
Yeah.
Like Dave started it. Like he's built this thing from the ground up. He is the best man for the job.
Yeah. Yeah, I just like wonder like how much of this like shit that like dude, and I'm telling you, I haven't paid attention to anything within CrossFit for like a couple months now, but I just wonder how much of the like things that people are saying is like just for the meme or if they really mean it, you know?
I think it's for the meme.
Yeah. What do you think about the last thing that I like kind of paid attention to? Or wait, we talked about this actually a little bit, I think. DVE and Taylor. All that
Yeah.
drama. Is that still going on or is it done?
No, I think it's cooled off.
Yeah.
All the dramas around John Young now.
What's up with John Young?
They were doing the stream for the Grid League, and they were just having fun with it. And the Grid League did not think it was fun.
Why? What happened?
There was a couple things said, but one of the grid athletes spliced it all together and like made a really bad take of it to make John look bad. But John was just talking about how this chick was slinging weight, and he's like, "Big Mom was moving that weight," and
Oh
she
my
was.
gosh.
And then
Is she big? Like a big girl?
Yeah, but like that's who's gonna be moving a 240-pound clean for a chick, like. Whatever. So she was. I think she was just hang power cleaning 135, like it was 0 pounds.
Wow.
But anyway, so he's like, "Big Mama slanging that weight," which again, whatever.
Yeah.
And then the later down, he's like trying to describe someone they're new to it. So they don't know everyone's name. He's like says the black girl. There's only one girl actually competing at a time, so it's the black girl. She doesn't know her name. Whatever. And then cancel
So
culture.
He called her a black girl?
Yeah.
And people got mad about that?
Dude. Try to find this Tom Soroka dude. He made a clip, like put it all together, like kind of like played it out in a way that it made it sound contextually way worse. And then the wife of one of the ladies that he called, I think Big Mama, the wife of this girl wrote an email to CrossFit, tagged, CC'd like everybody in CrossFit, everybody.
What?
Saying that like this guy cannot be allowed of CrossFit. Like he cannot be a part of this. He needs to be fully removed. It's like
he doesn't even work for CrossFit, does he?
Right. No.
What?
Now, granted, John wants to compete in grid, which again, they're just too into their own shit to realize. Yeah, John's super strong. He's like a 400 and some pound clean, like a 415 clean. This is very good. Like this is the most attention grid's gotten like ever.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like they need to be smart and lean into it. If they have issues with John and this Tom Soroka dude, go live, go head to head, 30 cleans for time at 275 squat cleans. Like throw up your big dog that wants to talk shit to John and let John like make something out of it. Get eyeballs on the sport instead of it being you guys just sounding sensitive.
Yeah.
Dude, grid's a sideshow. Like as much as I love CrossFit, like I watch grid, I'm like, this is why we get a bad name. You got people doing like jumping pistols over a box. It's like
Yeah.
I get that it is super impressive. I will never do that, and these people are like insanely good. But it's like to me it's still a sideshow, and it's like where semifinal athletes go to die.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like grid is super cool actually. Like I like seeing the clips of it.
It's impressive as hell.
I've never seen like a full event or anything. I just like seeing the clips of like the stuff that they do.
No, it's super impressive, and like I have no way to take away from that. Like it's what they do is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think they just have an awesome opportunity to market and like leverage this while it's hot and just get eyeballs on it. Like shit. Bring John in the league and then have him be the villain.
Was Grid started to compete with CrossFit? What was the deal with it?
No, it was just another thing like way back when. I mean, like back in the day, Grid used to have like Noah Olson and Dmitry Klokov and like games athletes. So like there was more connection to it because we knew the athletes. And we're like, oh sweet, they should have Noah do this event because Noah's super good at handstand walking and this and this. Or oh, sweet, Klokov's going to run the bar. Dude can hang snatch 440 pounds. Like, I would love to see what he can touch and go for a triple. And it's like, he puts 425 on a bar and finishes the ladder. It's like, holy crap, that's insane. it doesn't really feel like that anymore because there's no games athletes that do it.
Because what the idea is, like, it's basically a team of specialists, right?
Yeah, yeah. Which again
Interesting.
is super cool. I have no issue with it existing by any stretch of the imagination, but like they have to find a way to better market themselves and be more digestible
Yeah.
to the masses because CrossFit's niche enough, and then you're niche within the niche.
Grid was at the Olympia this year. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I feel like that's pretty crazy. Like they had like the platform of the Olympia.
Yeah. I mean, Olympia has a lot of events. Like,
Yeah.
if you've ever gone to Olympia, it's not just, the bodybuilding show. Like,
Yeah.
they have all the little small halls, powerlifting, Olympic lifting, jiu-jitsu, like arm wrestling.
I see. I didn't know that. I thought only the Arnold did that. I thought the Olympia was strictly just bodybuilding shit.
The Olympia, sorry, I misspoke. Arnold's is like that. I've been to the Olympia, and all I know the Olympia was just the show. I meant to say Arnold's.
Yeah,
Arnold Classic in Ohio is awesome.
Yeah, it's sick. You went to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went, I think 2 years in a row. That place is dope, dude.
Yeah.
Even just
you
the
get
amount
so
of
much free
shit.
supplements.
Yes.
You're
No,
like
I
a
haven't
garbage bin.
Yes.
It's like trick or treat for meatheads.
Yeah, I like one time put my hand in the bag and I got poked by a needle. Instantly gained 10 pounds of muscle. I think it was trained.
Yeah. That was another life, man. That was like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
21, 22.
Yeah, dude. But bodybuilding's making a huge comeback right now, which is pretty wild to see. Like, at least at the pro level. Every kid that I run into wants to be a freaking aesthetic bro again. It's wild.
I think it has lots to do with social media and Instagram. Like, you see people, like, making a lot of money, like Sam Sulek. Like, he's never going to win Olympia. He's never going to get close to placing. But
dude's got the most, like, boring build. Guy, dude.
And think about just from, like, the YouTube side of it. Like, he has, like, 2-hour-long videos. Like, every day. Like, that's so much money.
Yeah, so much. Dude, and I heard that, too. I heard this a while back. Maybe it's not true anymore, but he dropped a bunch of his sponsors. Like, he did. Because, like, he didn't really want to, like, have to go to events and, like, show up and, like, talk, like, whatever, because he's just, like, a private guy. But, he makes enough money from just YouTube AdSense that he doesn't have to have sponsors.
Yeah. I'm super curious about, from a YouTube standpoint, like, we had Friendsgiving on Saturday, and someone put up in the background, like, on the TV, the fireplace thing.
Yeah.
And, like, I was looking at it, I'm like, this thing plays on, like, a 12-hour loop, and it's got, like, 400,000 views. I'm like, I would really be curious what one of those generates.
I heard, so I just saw some stats this, like, past weekend. I was looking through some stuff, and, like, it was giving the comparison of 1 million views per each platform and how much they pay out. So supposedly per million views on YouTube, you get $4,000, supposedly. Which
it has nothing to do with how long it, like, you have something that's 30 seconds long. I'm assuming that's got to pay different than something that's a 2-hour-long podcast.
Yeah, I know that, like, the CPM or whatever is like means something, right? So, like, for sure, I think that the longer your video is, obviously the more ad opportunity there is, right? And if people are, like, sitting through the ads or they click on the ad or whatever, there's definitely more money. But I think that just YouTube AdSense in general for 1 million views is like $4,000 or some shit like that, which is absolutely insane if you think about what can make 1 million views. And I've been seeing a lot of this stuff too, where people are making automated channels like that, where they just do the fireplace thing, or they do like rain or white noise or whatever it is. And supposedly that generates a ton of just like income for people.
Yeah, it's wild.
I can't, like, shoot, dude. I don't even know how to do that. Maybe I'd figure it out and we become millionaires like in a couple months just from doing that.
Be rich like Logan with Dogecoin.
Dude, seriously.
I want to know how many coins he has.
Yeah, I want to know too. I want to know how much money he has in that damn Robinhood account, dude.
Yeah, man.
That's crazy. I'm so interested in knowing that shit, dude. Like, where people are putting their money and how they're getting so much money. Some people I look at and I'm just like, how do you have all this? Where did this come from?
Drugs.
Yeah, for real. Yeah. I don't do drugs, though.
There's a dude I went to college with. And, like, really good student. Like, I would have never expected it. But he had, like, a Subaru WRX STI and a bunch of stuff. And eventually, he just, like, I sell drugs. Like, all right, whatever
He
gets you
said
through.
that?
Yeah.
Have you ever?
Like, cool,
Okay,
man.
that reminds me of. Have you seen this? There's this YouTube show called Financial Audit. Have you seen this?
Yep.
You
No.
have? Oh, dude, it is so funny. It's this dude Caleb Hammer or Hammer.
Wait,
something
where he
like
talks
that.
to people that like grossly misspend their money, like they have like this unbelievable amount of debt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just like roasts them, but then he like helps them out at the end. I don't know, whatever. It's really funny. And basically, there was this dude who came on. Whatever. Long story short, he goes, "I do like pharmaceutical sales," like that. He said it like that. And he's like, he's like, "Oh, so you sell drugs?" He's like, "Well, it's just weed." I'm like, that is so freaking funny,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah. I don't know, man. Well, anyway, you probably got to go, don't you?
Yeah, I got a boogie.
Yeah. All right, dude. Well, cool. I think that this was a good live. I think it was fun. We got to do it again.
Yeah, we got to do another one. We'll all pop us in.
Yeah. We.
We'll talk about it.
All right, let's do it. I'll text you.
All right, see you, dude.
All right, bro. Thanks. Peace.